Welcome to Raising the Bar podcast,
Sponsored by the Ashmore Law Firm.
We're your hosts and siblings,
Gary Ashmore.
and Lori Ashmore Peters.
Subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
I don't know how it's going to go. It's absolutely incredible. You have to come over here and just see the location because it was an architectural. How do you say that?
Architectural Digest. Is that what it was in?
I'm in communications. I have a problem with words. I can't say big words. What in East Dallas is going on?
I'm Camille.
And I'm Rich.
Hey, we're on location today.
Yeah, we're on a field trip. Okay, so this is kind of, I guess, is this a field trip now?
Well,
Hayes is here, though.
not as much. It's the second time we're here, right?
Yeah,
So
it is.
Maybe a regular thing.
It could be a regular thing.
Yeah.
So, Hayes, welcome back.
Yes.
Where have you been?
Colorado, Hilton Head.
Yeah. He's been,
He's been the little traveler.
Summer, good travel.
yeah. So he had a good summer. Let's just put it that way.
He did.
Yeah, he's off mic,
Yeah.
but he's very much with us.
I'll fix that later.
Okay, so we're here on location at the Ashmore Law Firm.
Yeah, with East Dallas residents, Lori and Greg Ashmore.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you all for letting us record over here at the office, which is amazing. We
love the space.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. You
Yes.
have to come over here and just see the location because it was an architectural. How do you say that?
Architectural Digest.
I
Is
have.
that what it was in?
I'm in communications. I have a problem with words. I can't say big words.
This could be the intro.
Okay, so welcome to the podcast. What in East Dallas is going on? You're resident. So we're off of Oaklawn, but just to be clear, you guys grew up in East Dallas.
We did, but I do need to say, Gary and I are not married. We are siblings.
Yes.
That's
yeah,
right.
let's
Make
make
Yes.
sure.
Be
Let's
clear
everyone-
about
get that out of the
Not-
way.
That's right.
Brother, sister,
Brother,
husband,
sister.
wife relationship. This is not that.
No,
No,
No.
it's not.
No, so, okay, we're here with Gary and Lori Ashmore, and they have a law firm here off of Oaklawn in Uptown, but they are East Dallas residents. But you guys grew up in East Dallas, and we were talking before we pushed record about some of the things that you guys used to do with, what is it, the Lady on the Lake?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Dad, we're Dallasites, born and raised in Dallas.
Awesome.
Actually, Gary and I, parents still have the house that he and I were born and raised in.
Really?
unusual.
Where is
That's
that?
University, Abrams, Skillman, Mockingbird area.
Okay.
Right.
And none of us ventured very far. I mean, you're a few blocks from there,
Yep.
Gary, and then I am now in further East Dallas, across from White Rock Lake.
Wow. What did he pay for the house? Do you remember?
Parents,
Yeah, what
Yeah.
did they pay?
God, 30?
Yeah, I think about 30,000.
Yeah.
Crazy.
At that time, there was nothing north of Lover's Lane. It was pastures and cows and horses, and they had a ranch,
Wow.
Caruth Haven. The Caruth Ranch, I think, was something out there. It was called something like that.
What year was it?
64,
60s.
early 60s.
Well, I guess $30,000 back then was kind of a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was, but still,
$30,000.
it's $30,000.
He paid
So-
it off 40, 80 years ago.
So let me tell you this. And so my parents, we lost our dad April of this year. They would have been married 70 years
Wow.
this
Wow.
September. But the funny thing is, I don't know how they stayed married all of those years. And sorry, I'm going to tell.
Go for it.
So my mom, we have 4 siblings total. My mom went into labor at one house with Gary, goes to the hospital, has Gary, and comes home to a new house full of boxes. And then my dad says, "Hey, going to Las Vegas with my family. Peace out. See you in a few days."
What?
Oh, that's not
Yeah.
stressful.
And
Not at
she didn't
all.
know about the sale of him buying the other house. So
She had no idea.
no,
Well, wait, what?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So imagine if you did that to your wife, what would
I'm
she have
surprised
done?
they're still
Oh, she'd
married.
murder me.
Correct.
I'd be living with Hayes or Camille. Correct. On the couch.
So Dad grew up in Lakewood, off Lake Shore and Lakewood Boulevard over there.
Okay.
And then when they got married, they moved to Skillman, right there at Skillman and Abrams. And then he bought the house, and again, had the house purchased without Mom knowing it.
How in the world?
She went into
Surprise!
labor and brought me home to that house, and with boxes and
How do you buy a house without your spouse knowing.
Especially your wife. I mean, come on.
Oh, but you know what? I mean, in the '60s, that was back then.
Yeah.
If you tried to do anything without your wife knowing it, you'd
Anything.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Anything.
I'm talking
That's
about
right.
anything.
Honey, I bought a pair of shoes.
Yeah, I know. I saw them. Oh, really?
Right.
Okay, so you guys grew up there, and your
Yes.
dad started this practice how many years ago?
He was a probate judge here in Dallas, and
Okay.
when he retired from the bench in '87, he and I started the firm.
You guys started a firm. Wow. What a legacy. And I'm sorry to hear that he passed. I really wish that we had the honor of talking
Meeting
with
him,
him, having him on
yeah.
the show.
Oh yeah, he had no filter.
That's why I
I
want
love
him on the
that.
show.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, okay, so tell us, what was it like growing up in East Dallas and having your dad as a judge and
I mean,
all of that?
you know, for me it was great. You know, for other siblings it wasn't so great with him being a judge because it was a little intimidating.
Was it?
Well, oh yeah. I mean, because back then, you know, yeah, your father's a judge. Oh dear, you know, better mind my P's and Q's.
Yeah.
He also loved guns, so I'm sure there was the occasional gun cleaning when the you know
you can hardly tell
boyfriend-
by his office.
I know, isn't that
Right.
Isn't it spectacular?
So he has this, I don't even know how to describe it. So he has this office, which is pretty grand,
Uh-huh.
right? And in the back behind the desk is a bunch of guns.
gun collection.
Gun collection,
Oh yeah.
which are beautiful, by the way.
Right.
Even if you're not a gun person,
Mm-hmm.
it's art.
Right.
They're amazing pieces.
So you said you had siblings. How many?
There's 4 of us total.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 boys, 2 girls.
Are the
And-
other
and,
2 here in East Dallas as well?
We did not venture very far.
Wow.
I mean, it's East Dallas, right?
Yeah. Why
I
would
mean,
you
still for
venture?
Gary, north of Northwest Highways, Oklahoma. So
Right.
Right.
That's out of my bubble.
Oh my gosh.
Correct.
Most people just say 635. At least then there's another 2 miles.
Later.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no,
That's
not,
right.
not
No,
Gary.
No. Northwest
You want
Highway's
me to
it.
travel where?
I can never meet Gary for lunch north of Northwest
Right.
Highway.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean,
Remember
North Park is the edge.
That's it.
So you know what was fun though, when we were going to school and growing up there, Bobolink's golf course was there. So there were no homes, there was no development, and it was a beautiful golf course.
Right.
And then when they started building homes, it was always cool because it was all under construction, and back then you could go play and
Wander around.
you know, right, ride your bike, jump the dunes of the dirt and all that kind of stuff, and
Wow.
so it was a lot of fun. Of course, nowadays I don't think you can do that on construction sites because they rope
No.
it off.
Yeah.
The thing where I love talking to people that are from here because you get a sense of, I guess, nostalgia a little bit, but also it kind of takes you back on how things were.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about what your favorite moments were growing up in East Dallas?
Oh my gosh. I mean, you know, White Rock Lake being one of them.
Oh, you were saying about the beach thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, Dad used to tell us when he was younger that there was like a huge beach at White Rock Lake. It was a lot bigger. I mean, you know, where I live now at Mockingbird and Buckner didn't exist. It was out in the country. So he would tell us as a little kid, he would, you know, sun up, they would be out of the house and they would go exploring and walking 4 and 5 hours and then get to the lake. And it was all wooded, it was all trails, it was all trees, it was country roads, it was dirt roads. I mean, just absolutely amazing.
Wow.
So I love hearing those stories. And then our uncle Frank would tell us about there used to be, and I can't remember the name of it, a paddle boat, like a big paddle boat evening kind of sailing thing at White Rock Lake.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I
That you
think
could
I've heard
take,
about
yeah.
that. Yeah.
But growing up, we would bike the lake. That's what we did. We'd ride our bikes from where we lived over in the East Dallas part, and we'd go into Lakewood, and we'd go down to the Lothar Drive, and we'd drive around there. We'd go to the Old Cox Cemetery. If you've never been to that, that's an experience.
Yeah.
And so growing up, we did a lot of that. And you know, from sun up to sundown, you were just gone from the house. Mom
Yeah,
and Dad just
that's
said
what
be
you
back
did.
before dark, and there were no cell phones, and you had some quarters with you if you had to stop at a payphone to get a hold of them. But that's what we did,
Yeah.
and it was fun.
Wow. It's so much has changed over the years because now it's this, you know, you can't swim in the lake, which I think
Right.
is, yeah, I know we're all like, ugh. But so when did that actually happen? Right, Hayes? Plano? Is that what it was? We can
Well,
blame
all the building up there washed everything down to White Rock, and that's why it's so.
Oh wait, is that what? Because I don't actually know.
Yeah, it's all the building, the construction north has flown through the river way down to White Rock, and that's why needs to be dredged
Well,
again.
and you know, so White
Again.
Rock used to be the drinking I mean, that was where water came from.
Yeah, the
Dallas.
filter, because that's why you have the filter building
Yeah.
and all that.
Right.
And then if you notice, like those big homes, I guess on the west side of the lake, they all have the piping because they would get their water directly from White Rock Lake.
What?
They would have you could see the wells on their property and the piping and yeah.
So who do we blame for the situation? it's in now?
Suburbs.
Agreed.
Suburbs.
You guys are attorneys. Can we write them all a letter? Complain.
desist.
Cease
Yeah,
and
let's
desist.
see what we can do.
Stop dumping into our lake. Well, and I heard a lot of the runoff too from the homes that are in the area, fertilizers and all that stuff too,
Oh,
sort
sure.
of making it.
I mean, what was it? I guess a couple months ago we had you couldn't go anywhere near the lake because there was a spill or
million gallons of raw sewage.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From Plano. There
From
you
Plano.
go. Right.
Okay, so if you're from Plano,
No hard feelings.
no hard feelings, but call us.
We have a
bone to
word.
pick.
We
we
have a word to say to you. Just a few.
Now that's unfortunate because when you see some of the older pictures, there was the beach there, and we were talking about some of the boats, and they used to do all these the races and all that stuff. And Hayes is a big fisherman, so he still goes down there and
I mean, my son fishes all the time and is convinced that there's absolutely no fish in the lake. But Hayes, you corrected us that there are.
There are tons. I'm gonna take him.
Yeah, please do.
I will take him.
So one day Hayes, we had to do a recording, and we were at my house, and because we had the studio at the house, and so he rides his bike over from his house to my house, and on the way, I guess he was you were fishing, and he's like, "Hey, look." I'm looking at his phone, and he catches. That was a nice 3 or 4 pounder, right there.
Catch and release, though, right? Yeah.
I don't know if I would eat
Right.
anything out of the
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, on that note, okay, I tell you what, you're the president of a park.
Yes, River Shawn Park,
River
right
Shawn
across the
Park.
street. Friends of River Shawn Park, yes.
That's really cool. So I tell you what, we're gonna take a quick break here. We're gonna pay some bills, and I'm gonna spit out my gum.
Oh.
Okay.
Give it to Hayes.
Give it to Hayes. Yeah. Take that out, Hayes. You won't take that out, will you?
Not now.
No. Okay. And anyway, so we're going to be right back, and we're going to talk about the park and the community a little bit. And you guys are, big advocates for East Dallas. And yeah, we're going to talk about that a little
Let's
bit.
do it.
All right. We will be right back with Lori and Gary.
Hey everyone, Ashley Massey, your global real estate advisor and author of Fast Track Agent. Thank you so much for checking out our podcast today. I hope that you're enjoying all of the stories. If you or anyone you know is looking to buy or sell in the DFW area, I would love to have a conversation and see if I might be the right fit. I'm not only licensed in Texas, but I'm also licensed up in Oklahoma, and I have properties happening in Cozumel, Mexico, if there's any investors out there. So if you have questions about what's going on in the market or the DFW area, feel free to reach out.
And we're back with Gary and Ashley.
Yep. Here at the Ashmore Law Firm.
Yeah. So,
Wait. You said Gary and Ashley.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I won't tell your wife.
No, Gary and Lori at the Ashmore Law Firm.
Ashley Ashmore. That would be a good name, though.
That would be a good
Yeah.
name.
Y'all, it's oh wait, it's Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry.
That's not an excuse.
It's not.
He's trying,
Friday,
he's trying to
start
blame it
over.
on Friday.
And morning time, really not an excuse.
No, it's really
It's
just
mid-morning.
Rich's brain.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, not the best communicator with words. Okay, so first of all, I want to bring up something really quick, Gary. When you and I were talking last week, you mentioned that you guys do a lot of pro bono stuff, and I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are not paying us to be on the show. You're here because you're East Dallas residents, and you guys have a history.
Right.
But I began to really I like you guys because you're not just a typical law firm. You do a lot of really cool things for the community, and I just want you to know that that's appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
They do like probate and estate, and I don't even know everything that they do, but that's I just wanted to bring that up, Camille.
Yeah. No, I think it's great information. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what
Admirable.
we're about. Yeah, we're about community, and everything y'all do needs to be recognized.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate that.
So, okay, speaking about community, or talking about community.
So what do you do for a living?
Gosh, this is horrible. Usually I'm like, I know. Sorry, Hayes. Can you remove that part at least?
Oh no, that's an outtake.
horrible.
That one's staying in.
Okay, so first of all, talking about community, you're the president of.
Friends of River Shawn Park, which is across the street from us. I guess we moved in here in 2000.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess a couple of years before 2000, Scottish Rite Hospital for Children used to do a park cleanup.
Okay.
Because I don't know if y'all are familiar with the park, but back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, it was not the safest of places. And so they would have an arborist company that would come up and raise the canopies of all of the trees, and then they would have 300, 400, 500 volunteers come out.
Wow.
And I remember the first year that we did that in 2000, we used to have the flags, like the hazard flags. And they had, hazmat and, the fire department all there, and you couldn't touch anything that was hazardous. And I mean, needles, used
Gosh.
things that should not be out there. And I remember the first time I did the cleanup and you flagged all of those areas, it was like a sea of flags.
What?
It was just, it was unbelievable. And so throughout the years, every year we've had a cleanup of the park. It's been in March of every year.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful park.
It is a beautiful park.
What,
Yeah.
what we've been able to accomplish all of these years later, that started with Scottish Rite's help and them starting it all, because it was their backyard.
Right.
They're like, we have
Yeah.
these kids, it's a gorgeous backyard, and yet these kids can't even go to the park for the day to just enjoy it because it's
Wow.
just not safe. And so
That's
it's
sad.
been a great endeavor. I mean, we've loved it. We've
I think
absolutely
now
loved it.
aren't people able to use the park for like a birthday party or something? You just have to hire security, right?
Well, I mean, the Katy Trail 5K, I guess, starts and ends in the park.
Oh yeah.
And Memorial Day, the walk is in
Carry
the
the
park.
load. Yeah, they do the carry
the load,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, for the
veterans.
For the veterans, yeah. And so, I mean,
we were
it's
gonna have that guy on the podcast.
I know.
it's an incredible. It's incredible, and they have Easter egg hunts out there. They've got after school activities there. The rec center is always busy, so it is just it's an incredible park. It's an incredible thing. I mean, it's the Central Park of Dallas is what we call it
That's really cool.
because it is gorgeous.
I mean, it goes back to the old adage, if you want to change the world, start in your community, start one block at a time, right?
Right.
And I believe in that.
And I'll also tell you, so Dad, stories, because native Dallasite, they used to, there's a well at the park that no longer works, but they would bring empty jugs to fill the water from the well that was always like a bright yellow color.
Ugh.
And apparently it had medicinal purposes. They were taking home to drink
I bet it
I
did.
don't know, right?
But he would talk about the park, and I mean, they would always, every week, they would come with their jugs to, fill them
Gosh.
with the water well. Yeah.
He lived to the ripe old age of 90, so there may be something,
something to it.
Something to the water. I don't know.
It'd probably clear you out if you know what I mean.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Gosh.
So
Right.
between Rivershawn Park and White Rock Lake and East Dallas, we've got it covered.
You really do. Okay, you told a story before we pushed record about the White Rock Lake.
Yeah, so
This is so funny.
when we first moved in,
Oh, wait, hold on. So one of the stories that Dad would tell us when he was at Woodrow Wilson High School, he was part of the Lakewood Rats, and that was apparently a big deal back then. He would share with us that as high school students, senior year, senior year, they actually took a boat out on the lake at night, around midnight, with a spotlight, with a white sheet, and caused all sorts of uproar about this was the lady of the lake.
Your dad.
And he would share with us that the next day they called all the seniors in and said, okay, who did this stunt? And he said, nobody said a word. And it apparently made the paper. I don't know. I haven't looked it up because this would have been back in the 50s, I guess.
We got to find that. We got to find that.
Yeah.
See if there's
that's
something
funny.
about it. All right, so go ahead, your story. All right.
So, I mean, Lady of the Lake,
so
it
funny.
freaks me out, right? And so, the first probably 2 years that we lived there, my parents, coming from the Skillman Mockingbird University area, you would have to cross the lake to get to my house. If it was foggy, if it was raining, I swear to God, I had blinders at night. It's like, don't look at the lake, don't look at the lake, don't look at the lake. Just look straight ahead.
Because it's
And
like gloomy and
Oh, it's scary.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
scary
think
looking, yeah.
spooky.
I think at one time I may have been home alone, and I hear this like rustling at my window,
right,
and
right.
I'm like, what the hell? Oh my God, who is out there? I mean, I'm terrified, and it's him. It's Gary. And
Way
I'm
to
like,
go,
you know,
Gary.
Yeah, well,
thanks a lot.
Of course,
Thanks
keep
a
you on your
lot.
toes.
Anyway, well, no. So we had a neighbor that was, around the block from my parents' house, and they had, 5 kids?
Yeah.
And whenever she would have the kids have, these massive slumber parties, and at about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, Dad would take the kids, hey, let's go down to the lake.
What time of the year was this?
It was probably always around the springtime.
Okay.
So it was, foggy,
foggy,
misty. And she would dress up in all white, a white flowy gown, and would go on the pier and just scare the bejeebers out of all of the kids.
Oh my God,
love
how
all of the
horrible.
kids.
How
So
horrible.
funny.
though.
I mean,
It's
that was their
hilarious.
sense of humor, and I'm like, oh, those poor children are so traumatized after that.
When did that start, the Lady of the Lake thing? Do
It
y'all
was
know?
in the 50s. I mean, apparently, I think there was an accident.
Yeah, car wreck.
Car wreck, yeah.
She died, drowned at the lake.
Oh.
I mean, it's national. I mean, like,
Oh, it's a
how-
real-
it's a real story.
It's a real story, yes.
And how people,
I see.
people would be driving and they would see this young lady on the side of the road, and they would ask her, looking distraught, do you need help? She'd say, yes, I need to get, I mean, I have chills just
I'm
talking
gonna
about
do.
it.
Ugh, look at Hayes over there.
I need to, can you take me home? And so she'd get in the back seat, and they would get her address. They would drive, and when they would look back to say we're here, there would be nothing but a puddle of water. And when they
I
would
just
knock,
got goosebumps.
Right.
they
I
would
know.
knock
I
on the
done that you
door.
too right now.
when they would knock on the door, that was her house.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, so thanks a lot for the next 2 years. I'm gonna have blinders crossing the lake at
You're
night.
gonna be thinking about it again.
Like, so we've talked about doing a whole show on the Lady of the Lake. And,
Yeah.
and we'll probably end up doing one.
Closer to Halloween.
Yeah, why not? But who's an expert on? I don't even know.
I would do the Lady of the Lake in Cox Cemetery, like Gary talked about at
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you've never been to Cox Cemetery, you
Okay.
need to go at night.
Yeah.
So you're thinking that we could set up Gary in the cemetery?
Keep going. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hayes,
So
you in?
I would take dates in high school to Cox Cemetery because
such a ladies' man.
there was a street light there that when you pulled up in the front and it got quiet, the light would shut off, and it was haunted and this, that, and the other. And you want to walk Cox Cemetery, and back then you could kind of walk around out there. Of course, one time we weren't allowed to, or the police showed up, and we on foot stormed through the cemetery till we got to the back of it, jumped a fence, and had to walk all the way around to get our cars. But it was fun. So yeah, in high school we used to go to Cox Cemetery
Yeah, y'all
often.
need to do that as well.
All
Yeah.
right.
It's a haunted cemetery.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I
So
guess.
did all of you all go to Woodrow Wilson as well?
Oh, good God, no.
All over.
Dad wanted us to. No,
I didn't mean to.
My son goes there.
Woodrow
He
is a
loves
great,
it. Great school.
He loves it.
So
It
no,
is.
my dad
It
wanted
is.
us to go there. My mom, we're Catholic, very traditional, and my mom was like, over my dead body, or our kids not going to a Catholic school.
Okay, gotcha.
So we did
So
St. Thomas
she went
Aquinas
out.
there
Yeah.
in East
Yeah, yeah.
Dallas.
Oh, in East Dallas. Okay.
Yeah, St. Thomas Aquinas.
Great
for-
school.
Yeah,
Great school.
Great
8-9
school.
years, and then it was either Jesuit, Ursuline, or Bishop Lynch
Sure.
were our
Okay.
choices.
So many
yeah.
Catholics over here in East Dallas.
Oh, there,
yeah.
Me
there
being
really
one
is.
of them.
Yes, you are.
Oh yeah.
Right.
No,
But
it's
she's
just-
from East Tennessee, a little bit more east.
Oh, a little
A
more
little
east.
bit further east. Okay.
It is. So I have to tell you, I mean, you were asking about the favorite part of the lake. I got to tell you, still today, when it rains,
That's cool.
we go to the spillway. Oh yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
That
spillway's
spillway is
Amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
When
That
it-
water flowing. Yeah.
There's so few places left in the Dallas Metroplex that you can talk about this kind of history and these things, right? I mean, when you think about all of these new areas, which are great, I think Frisco and just keep going north, right? And all around us. But this is so different, right, Hayes?
Who was it that was telling us that the first place in Dallas that was found was right there at the lake in Lakewood?
In Lakewood.
The lady with the living cemetery.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes,
The Forest Hills Cemetery.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Was it Julie?
Yeah,
Julie, yeah.
Julie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just it's just so cool when you hear these stories and you all growing up in the area, and it's just amazing to me because it sort of takes you back a little bit. It
Yeah.
really does.
I mean, it's like I grew up out in the country, but that's what East Dallas used to be, a lot more of the country. And like you said, the trees and stuff, and kids could just run around and roam the neighborhood. And
I mean, it was, and even now, the sunsets are spectacular.
they are.
In my
Amazing.
backyard, the sunsets it's almost every day. The kids are outside taking pictures of the sunsets because you don't
Amazing.
see that in Dallas.
No, you really don't.
You don't. No.
Wow. Well, thank you. I mean, this is just, I love this, everything about this. So, you guys are amazing. And thank you for everything that
Good
you
fun.
do for the community in East Dallas
Yeah.
and, putting your efforts back into the community.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you for having us on. It's been great
It's been
learning more
great.
about y'all and what you do.
It's
Thanks.
so
Amazing.
fun. It's so fun. We have so much fun doing this. And when we started this, we didn't realize, what we were kind of doing. But we knew we wanted to do something for the community.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. There's so much here in East Dallas, and the stories and the history. And
The history, but also just all of the neighborhood
Amazing.
stores.
yeah.
oh yeah,
I mean, the neighborhood restaurants.
Restaurants,
It's everything about East Dallas is unique.
Yes.
yeah,
The culture.
Yes.
The culture, the history, everything.
yeah.
The homes, it's just such
Yeah.
a unique area.
Well, we're glad to do this. And you know what? I just want to say, Hayes, we are in the top 5 community podcasts in the DFW Metroplex and in the top 20 in podcasts.
In DFW.
In DFW.
Congratulations.
I mean, we've
Congratulations
been
are
there
right.
for a little while, but you
Yeah.
know, it's just, so to the listeners and everybody that listens to the show, thank you. Seriously, Camille,
Yes.
amazing. And
We
then
do thank them.
And then Hayes, our sound brilliant engineer over
He's
here.
awesome. Makes us sound so good.
And
Oh, yeah.
fishermen.
Yeah.
Oh, and fisherman.
Let's,
He's giving lessons.
he's a
out there.
fisherman, he's a musician, sound engineer.
Multi-talented.
Yeah. So thank you, Hayes. All right. Well, Camille, this has been fantastic. We are over here in the studio of Ashmore Law Firm off of Oak Lawn here. We say East Dallas, but look, you're East Dallasites. East Dallasites, that's a thing, right?
Dallasites, yeah.
It is
And
now.
we have loose boundaries.
Well, we do. I mean, you
Right.
can't. I'm sure everyone would love to work, not only live but work in East Dallas. But it's it's limited real estate, so sometimes you have to have your office somewhere.
Drive a
else.
mile and a half or two.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far.
So we hope to record here more. Thank you guys, and hopefully we will be seeing you here real soon in the East Dallas area. How about that?
Absolutely.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
All right, Camille, Hayes, even. Well, that's all I got for this week, huh? You got
Yeah.
anything?
Nothing new today.
All right. Well, what in East Dallas is going on?
I don't know. Stick around. We'll find out.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Thanks to our sponsor, the Ashmore Law Firm.
We specialize in probate, estate planning, family law, guardianship, personal injury, and civil litigation.
You can find us at ashmorelaw.com.
Or by calling us at 214-559-7202.
Again, that's ashmorelaw.com.
Or calling 214-559-7202.